Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is David Bianco. So the news in the industry this week has been the acquisition of McIntosh, high-end audio gear, and Sonus that are part of the McIntosh Group being sold to Bose. Yes, the same Bose that has made speakers and headphones for years and wave sound boxes for your nightstand. Yes, that Bose.
We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy.
Now, many in the audiophile community are aghast at this particular blending of companies, and the reason is Bose has had a reputation among audiophiles as being a brand of wannabes. They wanted to sound like audiophile equipment and they wanted to sound top tier, but they really didn't. Well, the truth of the matter is Bose was really a brand to sound really good for more average consumers. It was never really touted at the highest end markets, although they did in fact do some very significant engineering work related to their systems and their speakers. I've owned Bose 601s before, the 601 2s, and they were an amazing sounding speaker. Now, were they a $10,000, $20,000 comparative speaker? Of course not, but they didn't cost near that much as well. So the idea of Bose as a company was to bring things to the average consumer that had very good sound. And to that end, they had been successful. But at the same time, their brand does have a bit of a cynical tone within the audiophile community, and thus the reaction this week.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
Now, I'm looking at it from a business perspective. When companies are sold, the issue always is who will buy them, what's their intent, and how much change will they make. And one of the big red flags is when you're bought by an investment company. They tend to purely be looking at opportunities to get the value up so they can resell you to other investment companies or a higher bidder down the road, or take pieces of the company and break them up where they have more value separately than they do as a whole. That is what a lot of investment firms do with companies. I've experienced this in my professional career as well, so I've seen it happen in real time. Bose, being an audio company, is really looking at this from a marketing and opportunity standpoint to get into a different space, a higher space of audiophile capability. That's really what the driver is, no pun intended. And so they'll retain the labs and the people and the technology and the warranty and the service, and they will, try to make it work the way it has worked all along and maybe even improve it. They also will learn some technology to maybe put into some of their brands as well. So this isn't really any type of a nefarious type thing at all. I think it's one where a business has recognized that they can't get into certain markets with the products that they traditionally have made. And rather than invent something from the ground up, they thought, let's buy this. It also has the advantage of a brand name. And that's as important of what you're buying as it is the technology and as it is of the actual product, is the name recognition. So I don't expect there to be any change in the naming of a McIntosh or even Sonus for that matter. I believe they'll, obviously stick with that and really try to get the best that they can out of the acquisition vis-a-vis giving it a solid foundation of an audio company that's been here a long time that wants to see audio thrive. So they don't have to worry about, this being just an investment opportunity for some third party that doesn't care about music at all, or stereo equipment or audiophile equipment, whatever term you want to use. This is actually a bona fide company that's been in the industry that is just trying to expand its market. And so I think some of the cynicism is a little tongue in cheek. A little of it is thinking that maybe it should have been acquired by a larger name. I mean, McIntosh was actually acquired in 1990 by Clarion. Clarion that made like car stereos. I mean, it was no big, a big high-end company that bought them, really. And they've been owned by others as well. So, we have to recognize this for what it is, I think. And I think in the long term, it won't be anything that upsets the apple cart terribly. We'll see whether there's any shifts in pricing or any shifts in the suite of products that they offer. There is a bit of McIntosh does have speakers in their catalog that they've had. So whether that'll be affected somewhat, who knows? But I do know this. I do know that at a company basis, this kind of acquisition is one that I, as an employee of an acquired company like McIntosh, I would rather have that acquisition than being owned by some third party who could put us on the chopping block, break us up, and minimize who we are as an entity. That's always a risk when you're owned in that kind of a situation. So let's see what happens with this. I'm not nearly as cynical about it and think that this is actually good for the fact that we have an audio company buying an audio company and just trying to expand its catalog and capability and realizing they're not in that niche and they want to play in that niche with a good branded name like McIntosh and Sonus. So those are my thoughts on the topic. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so by clicking on the bell, and a like or thumbs up is appreciated, as are your comments. As always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you again next time on our next Safe and Sound Texas audio excursion. Take care, everybody.